Thank you, council members.
Tell us what SAPA is.
Santa Ana Watershed Project Authority. We look after the health of the entire watershed, which is San Bernardino, Riverside, and Orange counties. This kind of situation is not new to me. Unfortunately, I used to deal with this quite regularly when I was at the State Water Board, and it's important to look at how they say what their methodology is. And very specifically, they look at ranking in terms of the total number of chemicals detected since 2004. California, and in fact, many of the states in the Southwest are dinged because of that. We test in California way more than any other state. California has always led the nation in setting the bar for drinking water standards higher than anybody else. California was the first to promulgate regulations on perchlorate. The nation followed thereafter. And that was the case on many, many different constituents. Because we are so aggressive in testing for anything we can possibly find, no matter if we think there's a health risk or not, we want to know. Just the sheer number of tests, not the results of those tests, just the fact that we do those tests are held against us. And this is from their own methodology. So you've got to take that into consideration. I remember having to explain why we closed beaches in California, because we tested so thoroughly and to such a fine point that we, under an abundance of caution, would close beaches. And people would say, well, Florida and Texas don't have these closures. They must have cleaner beaches than you. Well, they didn't test anywhere near how we tested. And I used to wonder late at night, should we just not test as much as we are? It would make my life a lot easier. But of course, California has a tradition of maintaining the very highest standards in the nation, and therefore we continue to test. In this case, it serves to give us a ding, but it provides for us the best drinking water in the nation, and that's something we should continue to be very proud of.
There are other members. They really would say the same things that we have presented, and just would be happy to answer any questions, or any of our board members or anyone else that you might have any questions for.
Bottom line, Riverside's water is safe and of the highest quality.
Correct, and that's not opinion, that's fact based on thousands and thousands of water tests that show our quality is high.
Two comments from members of the council, Mike Gardner and then Rusty Bailey.
Thank you, Mayor. The mayor, Councilmember Bailey, several staff members and I went and met with the editorial board of the Press Enterprise this afternoon about the story they had written, because we think it was a slanted story. Because they took the data that was provided by EWG and reported it as fact when, in fact, it's wrong. We don't disagree with the database that EWG worked from. That's our database. We created it. We object to how they used it. The water that's produced from the wells, the untreated water, does not meet standards. We know it doesn't meet standards. That's why we treat it. The water that comes out of your tap that is in our delivery system meets and exceeds every standard. We've never failed a test on any of those standards. The thousands of tests that we do every year. Your water is absolutely safe. I think we were successful in showing the Press Enterprise editorial board how they had been misled, and I'm hoping that there will be a significant story tomorrow or the next day that corrects the misimpression that the story gave.
Rusty Bailey.
I think this is an example, or the analogy that I'd like to use, example of Chicken Little being given a megaphone. When you and EWG is that Chicken Little. It's creating a stir in our city that we don't need at this time or any time. Anybody is welcome to take a tour of the facilities. I've been on a tour of the facilities. We have the highest quality facilities out there. The John W. North Treatment Plant just came online this year, has the highest and best technology. I would encourage any of the ratepayers to ask for a tour. We welcome that. And we also welcome the scrutiny, any scrutiny that any agency would like to come and test. We're not here to hide anything. I don't think we've hid any data. It's welcome to come and take a look. If our water was dangerous, the U.S. EPA, the California Water Board, would be in front of us today finding us instead of Dave Wright telling us again that our water in Riverside is safe to drink. Our utility is over 100 years old, and some of our residents are also 100 years old, been drinking that water, just as John Gabbert, for many of those years. So once again, we're here to let you know, the public know, that Riverside water is safe to drink. You've heard of Shop Riverside. We've got a new campaign, Drink Riverside.
Dave, thank you very much. We will see what appears in the paper tomorrow or the next day. Would this time move to our third presentation tonight. And this is, I think, the third or fourth time that we called it the Inspiring Youth of the Month.